Feeling beautiful, feeling beautiful. Eager to jump into this. Let's spark it, gentlemen. Really eager to
Absolutely,
see this Eagles Seattle game today. But let's run through the recap of yesterday. Some interesting things happened.
absolutely,
Jen, take it,
absolutely.
brother.
Yeah. First and foremost, introduce yourselves, fellas.
My name is Ryan from from my own little sportscast, Ryan Sportscast.
Yo, peace and love, world universally. This is Tomb Philaczar, the 2 hour show, UT and radio. My show is on 9 to 12 on Mondays. We'll be on during the game. So, dig us. But we ain't about that right now. Right now, let's jump into these sports.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, first game that stuck out to me from yesterday was unfortunately my Raiders Falcons game. We got blew out the water, man. That was really bad. 43-6. Didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming either, man. Just how well your Raiders been playing. I was very surprised. Just it kind of I don't know what happened, but
What appeared to happen is that is right now people are jockeying for position. The Raiders actually had a lot of opportunities. They weren't converting on them third and fourths.
Yeah,
They weren't converting on them third and fourths. And in all honesty, even when you make the big plays, if you don't convert on them third and fourths, that short yardage, it's not going to do it.
no.
no.
So they did get blown out, but in spite of the score, it was actually more competitive than the score showed. But yeah, I can see how brothers were disappointed.
Mm. Yeah, because I didn't get a chance to look at the highlights. I was just seeing the score. I was just like, "What the hell's going on?" But
I had a good chance to watch the entire game.
uh,
What was really happening was what happens in a lot of sports right now. And it seems that in the game of football, and I hope the Eagles in Seattle take care of this. Everyone looks for the one hit, the big down the field play.
yeah,
It's a game of 10 yards. You have to be able to get those 10 yards. Either the running back, the quarterback has to tuck it and run. Someone has to move it 10 yards. We're trying to get so quick down to the goal that we're not doing the 10 yards. And I think the entire football league seems to be showing that pattern because, it's incredibly lopsided right now with the number of teams that won't make it into the playoffs. We know.
yeah.
And the fiasco that's going on in my conference with the Eagles and everyone, where it looks like someone that will have a losing record will actually get a way in, which I don't really like at all.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd like to ask you, gentlemen, something right quick. How did y'all feel about the fact that they did not want to move the Broncos and Saints game back, in spite of the fact that the quarterbacks were out? Because that
I would have
game
done that
was
because they're doing that with the Ravens Steelers game. They're pushing that back per source to Wednesday. So why couldn't you just do that for the Broncos? I don't know how that further screws up the scheduling and if that's why they didn't do it, but you would think they would afford them the same opportunity.
Yeah,
I'd like
sure.
not to even go so far as to the schedule. Let's just go to the individual games.
Yeah.
How do you plan when you're not sure who's going to be on the field and when you're forced to be on the field with people that, like that quarterback that they had up there, that was a massacre.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That man had no idea what he was even doing. You shouldn't have to put a professional franchise that I'm not going to go so far as to say an embarrassment, but I don't think that was good marketing.
It
But
wasn't.
I'm gonna cut that short. But I just wanted to ask your opinion on that. Like, why aren't they pushing more of these games back?
No, that
Yeah,
that
I
was
think that's
bullcrap
good.
what they did to them. I mean, look, they sucked this year, fine, but still, you should give everybody the same opportunity to be able to go out there and get
To
a job.
win.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Excuse me, to compete.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. They had no chance. You give a guy what 1 day to prepare. It's you know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
anyways, the other game, and I thought we both picked the Panthers to beat the Vikings, and the
Right.
Vikings came back and upset the Panthers. Man, what you think of that one?
Um, Cam did. I mean, they did what they could do down there. They did what they could do. They lost straight up. It actually went down to the wire. They lost by how
They
much? That
got
was like a
lucky.
field
They
goal.
got lucky. Touchdown at
I
the
was
end of the
about to say that
game.
was a field goal, wasn't it? Like
Field goal,
that
touchdown,
went down to the
whatever. They
wire.
got lucky at the end of the game. I thought it was a touch. Whatever. They got lucky at the end of the game. I thought the Panthers were going to win that game, and the Vikings came out and beat them at the last second. But
Yeah. They, like I said, everyone right now is fighting. It's
Yeah.
an unusual year. Even if someone's schedule is bad, they still come out to fight. The Panthers tried. they did. It was another game that was more competitive than what it looked like. There were a few games on here that were not competitive at all. Let me ask the Giants Bengals game.
Right.
Yeah.
The
That one,
Giants Bengals game. Everyone expected it to be a sloppy game. It actually was an all right game. The Giants actually handled business.
yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean, I would have expected them to do a little bit better because really outside of the kickoff return, the Bengals only put up 10 points offensively, right?
Yeah.
So for it to be that close of a game, I didn't expect that.
No heart. Fuck.
I didn't expect. Go ahead, brother Bill.
Nah. I mean, I just got like a notification on YouTube that says you don't hit DK Metcalf, DK Metcalf hits you. Like I didn't see the replay, but it's obviously gonna be something I'm not gonna want to look at. You can see
I
walking
saw
around
it.
the background.
Yeah, I saw it. It's
Hey,
frustrating.
we gonna get back to that because as much as I hoot and holler about how we should have drafted him, I'm gonna keep saying it.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep saying it too.
And that's not hindsight. It's 2020. It's something that we were screaming at through the TV during that year's draft. So,
Yeah, with that umbrella over his fucking head with his mom.
anyways, we gonna get back to that. But the one other game that really stood out to me was the
Chiefs Broncos.
the Titans
The
Colts.
Titans game.
Titans
Titan game
Colts.
was
They
good.
rolled them boys, man.
That was a good.
Rolled them boys.
Yeah.
The Titans did well. Actually, I thought the Colts would have.
Oh, nice.
We both picked the Colts.
Yeah. I thought the Colts would have done a little bit more, but I was thoroughly aware that the Titans are not having it. It's a legacy. It's a team with a lot of pride.
Yeah.
It's a team with a lot of ability, and as we know, is any given Sunday. Any team can beat another team when they actually have that heart, that soul, and that synchronicity, which is why I was speaking about the fact that some teams are not allowed that synchronicity because of this COVID thing. But, yeah, the Titans they handle business like they were supposed to. And it was important because that was a conference game, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. They're both 7-3.
Yeah, they needed that. Can we talk about that weirdness about the Bills and somebody else winning and then in spite of both of them winning, the standings switched around.
So the Bills won their game against the Chargers, and then what was the other game you're talking about? And was it that division? Oh, was it the Patriots?
Wait. You know what? Let me get to the notes right quick. The standing right now,
and the Bills are also they're 8-3 now, I think.
The Bills. So where are the Bills standing at in their division now?
They're top. It's them 8-3. It's Dolphins at 7-4, and then the Patriots are like 5-5 or something like that.
What did y'all think about that Patriots game?
It played out the way I thought it was going to play out, and I picked the Patriots to win. We was talking about this yesterday. I just thought that defensively they were going to be able to get after a not fully healthy Kyler Murray and make it a ugly game.
Do you think the Patriots won, or do you think the Cardinals lost it?
Probably a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I mean, you had 83 passing yards for Cam, which is
Cam was not impressive. He was not impressive.
No.
I'm gonna be honest with you. We did pick the Patriots. After watching the game at halftime, I did not expect them to win. I'm gonna keep it 100. I didn't think they did enough to win. I didn't think they deserved to win.
No.
But a W is a W.
I think Kyler Murray also wasn't fully healthy, so that played a big part into it. If he was, I don't think it would have been that close. Because he got the shoulder, the collarbone injury the week prior. He was kind of like gutting it out through that game. So it is what it is. I mean, they cannot afford to lose that game because now you have the Seattle game. They're trying to stay ahead in their division.
Right. All right.
Cardinals. So yeah, a lot of it's a lot of movement within the divisions this week in the standings.
There was. I expected it.
Yeah.
I expected it, and I think that That's the reason I keep mentioning about these games being pushed back, because we want to see in the playoffs teams that deserve to be there. We don't want to have teams that because they just happen to play someone else of the week and they got a couple losses, now they're either out or they're in. I want to see competitive people in the playoffs. I don't want to see a couple people that then got 2 or 3 wins because their opponent didn't have their key pieces. The NFL has to do better with this.
Absolutely.
With the Chiefs and the Buccaneers, how
Mm-hmm.
did y'all like Brady's play?
He look
Yeah.
He don't look at home.
Nah,
No.
he hasn't for the past couple of weeks.
Gronkowski done his job though.
He
Yeah.
balling. He balling.
Yeah, he balling, man.
I mean, but
That's the
Tom
only
Brady.
thing keeping Brady alive down there.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Tom Brady. You know what? That's what happens when you go to a new team. A year's time, especially under these certain circumstances, is not enough time to really become a well-oiled machine. You need 1 year under your belt. We saw with
Right.
Peyton Manning when he went to Denver. He had you need at least 10 games to really get some type of rapport with your receivers, and then even from there, you didn't have training camp, so that shortens the curve even more. It makes it even steeper of a learning curve. So no matter how long you've been in this league, different people, different playbook. You're not in New England anymore, right?
Right.
The only way it would have worked is if you and Belichick both went to Tampa Bay at the same time. Then you have the same verbiage, same playbook. You're thinking of all those things as guys, 300-pound rushers are trying to take your head off. When you already have that verbiage, like secondhand knowledge, like the back of your hand, you don't have to think. You can just go. Now he's having to think as well as try to lose. So
he's having to think, and he's having to think with a team that doesn't have the same caliber of respect for his rings and whatnot. Because they're looking at him like, okay, you coming in as the great Tom Brady. Do you think, Tom?
Yeah.
Do you think, Tom?
Yeah.
But I think the Buccaneers need to understand that it's a team effort. They need to protect him better.
Right.
He's doing the best he can do, but he's not Tom Brady quality right now. And that's not to take away from what the Chiefs were doing. The Chiefs did excellent.
Yeah, Chiefs amazing. Patrick Mahomes is just on another level.
I like the way he thinks about the game. I personally had not seen the instead of taking a sack, tossing the ball ahead to a dead zone. Honestly, it's legal. People should have been used it.
That's what you're supposed to do. I mean, great quarterbacks do that.
We haven't been producing people with high IQs about the game. We've been drafting, and we've been seeing a lot of people with natural talent.
Mm-hmm.
We've been seeing a lot of people who play with a lot of heart. But in all honesty, this game also needs thinkers. We need people that are going to not only feel the plays, but know what the plays are. We need people that understand what the rules are and know what they can and can't do, and not just do what's been done before. I think what that young quarterback and the Chiefs is doing is he knows the rules. He has a high football IQ, and he's utilizing it. He's not going to just run his body out. And
you're seeing the product of an Andy Reid coach quarterback. Same way with Mike Holmgren. Same thing with Bill Walsh. They coached these guys up. Nobody wanted Patrick Mahomes at that spot where they drafted him. People, I think, Mr. Trubisky. What year draft was that? There were a couple guys that went ahead of him. I know that for sure. And they moved up to get Pat Mahomes. I didn't think of anything of him at the time. Didn't know much about him. But Andy Reid, he can take an average guy or a good guy and take them level of where they're. He already took a very talented quarterback physically and took him levels above where he might have been had another coach been coaching him, right? Because you have all these guys being drafted from these spread offenses in college. They don't really have a full concept of reading the entire field. They're a one read and go type guy. And then they come into the league, and outside of being in a great scheme, when they're asked to make the difficult throws, go through all the progressions, they're lost. They're a deer in the headlight. And you see the guys like a Carson Wentz, at least when he has a healthy offensive line, which we're going to get into that, Pat Mahomes, Russell Wilson, those type of guys, Aaron Rodgers, those are the type of guys that have been in pro-style offenses in college and in the pros and had the coaching to build them up to where they are now. And you see the difference with them compared to like a Jared Goff, who's a solid quarterback, but when he was asked to perform outside of the scheme, he looked horrible in that Super Bowl. You know why? Because but when they shut off the helmet, Mike, 15 seconds left on the play clock, and then the defense makes an adjustment. When Lil Birdie is in his ear to tell him what's going on, he don't know what to do. Right? So there's like levels to this shit. You see the differences between guys like that, and that's why Pat Mahomes is where he's at, and he's going to be there for years to come. Even if or when Andy Reid leaves, you can't take away that knowledge. That knowledge is now already there, right? No matter.
Let me ask you, gentlemen, something about the preferences of quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Would you prefer a quarterback that has the ability to call his own plays, or would you prefer a quarterback who follows your instruction to the letter?
I want a guy that's autonomous. What you think, Ryan?
Calls them plays.
Because you have to have that flexibility. Because you look at the guys like Peyton Manning, Brett Favre. Those guys come up to the line, and had Donovan McNabb had that personality to, change the plays at the line a little more often, even if it pisses the coach off.
Right.
You're going to be one of those guys that they're like, no. Oh, great pass. Like, right. So you're going to make some mistakes changing the plays, but like I think you have to be autonomous to have that X factor. Like when you get in those crucial moments where a coach might be a little more conservative, and that may end up costing you the game. In that moment when you have a quarterback that is willing to change that at the line because he's in the trenches, he can see something the coach doesn't. I'd rather have that. Right.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, because that's personally a thought that I've been thinking about for a minute, because I'm with you. I personally would prefer a quarterback that has the ability to call plays himself. I think that takes a little bit of pressure off of the offensive coach so that he can construct schemes to where he can put his quarterback in a good position. But I need a capable quarterback.
Exactly.
Right quick. With these Eagles, what do you think about Wentz?
Give me your thoughts, Ryan. What you think?
I think a lot of it this year has to do with the play call, not playing to his strengths. I think he hasn't played particularly well. I think he's been turning the ball over a lot, been very inaccurate, and it's times where you just need to learn to live another down and not try and be a superhero. You know what I mean? But I think it's mainly shuffled offensive line. That's the main of it. Pretty much the shuffled offensive line, the play calling really has hurt him. And, he's been a turnover. I hate to say it, he's been a turnover machine this year.
Yeah.
What's the solution?
I want to second that because
go ahead, Jim.
I think the solution ties into this, that Carson Wentz is a problem, but he's not the problem, right?
Right.
I think the problem is the constant shuffling of the offensive line, like a deck of cards. Like every other
right.
Had the most lineup changes in the NFL this year. I think like 12 weeks we've had a different lineup this year. So
how do you feel about his confidence, his body language?
Not good.
I think that he's a guy. At times, I don't like the body language, but I don't think that his body language has stuck out to me as something that's a red flag. He looks to me like a guy that keeps getting up and slinging it. Now, he's more like a boxer that doesn't know when to stop the fight and would need his corner to come in and drag him off, as opposed to a guy that gets gun shy.
Right, right.
He definitely slinging.
You're going to need to address that offensive line because, and I've talked to multiple people about this, the first 5 years of a certain Hall of Fame quarterback's career, he was averaging, I believe, 20 interceptions a year. Right? And if they had decided to move on at that time, they would have never have gotten 2 rings out of him, well, 1 ring out of him, and possibly 2, and all those Hall of Fame years of winning 10+ games.
Yeah, you can't be gunshot. You can't be gunshot.
Do you know who that quarterback is who averaged 20 interceptions first 5 years?
Farvey?
Nope.
Who was it?
Peyton Manning.
Okay.
And you know how sharp that boy is, right?
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that most people then, had they just closed their eyes and just looked at the stats, were like, get rid of him off with his head. But most people with their eyes open at that time, is painfully obvious that Peyton Manning was not just a franchise quarterback. He was the future. He was going to get them a ring or two, be a future Hall of Famer.
Can I share something with you about the Manning family right quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I in general support and love second generation sportsmen, because often what you get is, and even when they don't have a lot of talent, because the other Manning boy in New York really wasn't as talented as Peyton.
Yeah.
But what you get when you get a second generation quarterback, a second generation, in the case of Steph Curry, we're talking about football, but I'm talking about second generations. You get someone who has had a father that is, you've had someone to coach you in this art, in this sport, who loves it sincerely. So the Mannings, we really got a treat to see people that understood their limitations. Peyton Manning, first of all, wasn't a great rocket arm. Let's say that.
I disagree.
I don't think he was, but I'll tell you what he was. He was very smart, and he knew how to move them sticks.
Okay. I mean, I agree with that. We'll agree to disagree on the arm part. I mean, he ain't got Brett Favre's arm, but he can sit back and throw it off his back foot, no problem.
What was his accuracy? What you know? What me and you may have to discuss the Mannings and do. I thought Peyton Manning was very good in the short gaining yards, 20 yards and less.
Mm-hmm.
I thought over 20 yards he was less accurate and tend to not really even attempt those throws back in the day.
Absolutely not. Him and Marvin Harrison or Reggie Wayne were lethal. 30, 35.
Oh, yeah, Marvin Harrison was correct. Listen, if I stand corrected, I stand corrected. Like I said, I'm going to have to get those stats together. Seahawks, how you feeling about Westbrook and the Seahawks tonight?
Russell Wilson. I always get
Russell Wilson, excuse me.
Yo, you know what? They have some of the same issues. They don't have an offensive line, and for a 3-week stretch there, Russell Wilson was really struggling bad, in the same vein as Carson Wentz. So,
right.
Because they just said, hey, let's just draw up some plays in the sand and let Russ run around and make it happen. It works only but so long, no matter how good you are. Right now, I don't know how inconsistent this Eagles offense is going to be, because if the Eagles are able to string together some drives, that Seahawks defense is just so historically bad, it might cost them this game. Because
I'll be honest with you.
Because the Eagles just
I'm from North Philly, man.
Eagles just stopped them on the first drive. Eagles just stopped the Seahawks on the first drive. That's big.
Yeah. I feel it. The Eagles are giant killers. They are known for upsetting the team. Anyone who counts them out for this game tonight, get your head right. The Eagles is going to fight. But it has to be more than just Carson Wentz. Me personally, I don't like his body language. I think that he need to get his head right. I think historically that Philadelphia, we eat our stars alive if they don't produce results quickly.
Let me ask you a question. What do you think about the – so we'll just jump to the Eagles now. What do you think about the extra reps with the first team that Jalen Hurts got this week, and how that's going to affect the product on the field?
I don't think that Hurts will actually produce any more or less. I think that for real, the problem seems to be is that the Eagles need to become a threat on the ground. The air game is not going to really be respected until we do something on the ground. And what's happening on the ground is very little.
Yeah.
So when we're isolated on the receivers, when we're isolated on what the quarterback is doing, we're not concentrating like you said. Wentz is one part, but he's not the whole part. Part of it is we can't pump fake on running because ain't nobody scared of the Eagles' run right now.
Which is why it always comes back to that offensive line. So you have Lane Johnson out for the
Right.
year now. He tried to gut it out on that ankle, which he never should have done. And I mean, you gotta give him props. Like the guy's a warrior, but he's out, so now you have no right tackle. Jason Peters, who has been playing bad at left tackle. On top of that, now he's playing with a broken toe in this game, so he moved into left guard. I mean, they're a mess right now. they're an effing mess, and that's going to affect the run game because they're not going to be able to run the ball well.
Right.
You know, you want to run these stretch plays. You don't have guys that had that continuity. And then, like you said, if you don't have the run game, it's hard to run play action off of that. And then to the play calling, for the life of me, I can't understand why they don't call more bootleg plays for Carson Wentz. They do it with Daniel Jones. They do it with Russell Wilson. They do it with less capable quarterbacks.
That's why I asked. That's why I asked about people, you know, do you like a quarterback that calls his own plays or one who just listens to the coach? Because what I think is happening with Wentz is that he is indecisive right now. He has the ability to win. Yeah. He don't know what to do. And he has a high football IQ. So there's a disconnect somewhere between him and the coach. I'm going to have to put some of that on the coach right now.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm going to have to put some of that on the wide receiver as well. What's his name? He was a former quarterback. I think he was a backup for the Lions at one point. He put up all 22 footage of Carson Wentz's throws or lack thereof to I think it might have been Jalen Reagor, and it was almost an interception. And they showed Wentz holding the ball. You have a swing route to the running back coming out the backfield.
Right.
You have a crossing route by in a trip set by a wide receiver across the field. And the wide receiver didn't have the right timing. And people are looking at Wentz like, why is he holding the ball? Why is he holding the ball? Because there's nowhere to throw the ball.
There's no way to throw it. There's no way to throw it. Now, I will say this for the wide receivers, and I'm not playing with y'all. It's Tomb Philaczar, Philly family. If the ball, put the ball on your fingertips, grab the ball.
Listen.
If you put it on your fingertips, grab the ball. There's too many drop balls in Philadelphia right now. I'm not feeling it.
Yo, Tomb, Rye, are you guys regretting the late, great Nelson Aguilar going over to my Raiders looking like Jerry Rice?
Don't even get me started, man.
No,
over there.
No, me personally, I'm not regretting it because although he's very talented and I wish him the best, I think that it really wasn't the time. He didn't have the size we needed. Really, I think that the receiver that's really going to be the one for Philadelphia has not come yet. We need a receiver with a little bit more height. What we have is very quick receivers with a lot of ego. We need someone who can look over the defense. We need someone who's taller.
You know, there's a guy that we're playing tonight that we're 1-4, right? That kind of fits those credentials that we didn't draft 2 years ago.
Like I said, we need better scouting because what's happening is people are looking at numbers, people are looking at spreadsheets, and they're drawing these conclusions. We need to go back to good old-fashioned weights and measures. What we need is one of Terrell Owens type receivers that are tall. Yeah, I said it. That's tall and can put his hand on the ball and can physically dominate anyone you put on him. We don't need egos to where people are not taking responsibility. We need people with so much swag that you're scared to even cover them. And right now the Eagles don't have those kind of weapons, even though I think we still can punch anybody, smash mouth football.
I completely agree with that. Last thoughts, man. Still 0-0 right now. Defense.
Yeah, because we're going to get into this game. Yeah, I need to get back to this game. Go ahead.
How do you guys got this playing now? We got 3:39 left in the first quarter. We're actually on the 45-yard line. Got the ball back. So the defense is stepping the fuck up. What do you think's going to happen? What's your predictions, man? You see it on the TV in the background right here. What's your prediction?
My prediction is we're about to get a first down. No, my prediction is I think we can win this game. I just think they have to find ways to take advantage of that horrendous secondary of the Seahawks. Yeah, and gotta get that run game going.
What's your number prediction? What's your score?
I'm gonna go 17-14 Birds.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Toom? Yeah. What you think?
In all honesty, I'm going to be realistic. I think we can win this game. I think it really boils down to, like my man said, taking advantage of the secondary. And in all honesty, oppose our will. Like, don't forget your Philadelphia. You actually impose with the entire population of Philadelphia. Use their energy. Stop walking out there like we didn't just win the Super Bowl a couple years ago. You're not too far removed from that. Go out there and impose your will. And receivers, catch the ball, because even if Seattle does put up points, I think that we're able to keep pace with their offense if the receivers can catch the balls. As far as defense, I think we have a better defense. So, yes, I think we're very capable of winning this game. Whether we will win it or not, I'll let you know in a little while when I'm done watching this game.
Nah, I need a prediction. I need a prediction right now. It's still early enough. Throw something out there, man.
Honestly, I think that the Eagles will pull it off. I think that is going to be slightly higher. I want to say like 21-17, and I'm picking the Eagles.
Yeah, I see it similarly. I think it's going to be
21-17 Eagles. I think that Russell going to stall out.
Yeah, I see 24-21 Eagles. I'm right around your score.
Yeah. I think we're going to get up at least to the 20s. I think our offense is going to do better because they're tired of being embarrassed, and they should be.
I hope so.
Yeah. And I think that really the key is going to come down to the fourth quarter and who's really going to want it more. Like, this is a game of who really can impose their will. So let's see who can actually throw the other around, because I think both of the offenses are capable.
Absolutely.
It depends on what the defenses are going to allow them to get. And I think that right now, Russell Westbrook is more comfortable. He has the ability to
Russell Wilson.
Excuse me. I'm thinking about that bullshit with the NBA. Got me crying right now. I don't even want to talk about. When we get into that, it'll be different. I think Wilson is more comfortable. I don't think he has a lock for a W here. I don't think he has a lock for a W. I think it's a game where the people that betted on this game should be very scared. It's a Monday night game. Everyone plays hard on Monday night. Philadelphia is not having it on Monday night. I'm picking Philadelphia to win 21-17 or so.
There you have it.
With Philly having 21.
There you have it. 24-21, 21-17, 17-14, all for the Birds. Let's make it happen, dog. Let's make it happen. This week, again, I would love to have all y'all back on, because there's a big fight this Saturday between Earl the Truth Spence, coming back from that horrific car accident. You know, props to him for working his way back, versus Danny Swift Garcia, Philly's own. So
I'm eager to see it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm eager to see it. I'm glad boxing is coming to the forefront again. Yeah. So I'll link in with you. Let me know what's up. We're gonna get into this Eagles Seattle game or whatnot. Salute, gentlemen. Appreciate, it's an honor for y'all having me and whatnot. Thank you, Jen the God, for having me in today and yesterday. Tune into the 2-hour show. We on at 9 o'clock, 9 to 12 on Mondays. Banging that classic boom bap. Actually, my man Jen the God, like we played my man a whole catalog. My man Nasty.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate y'all.
Right.
Salute. Big up.
Peace
gentlemen.
Out,
I'll build with you later.
All right, bro.
Yo,
appreciate you coming on, man. Yeah, we're gonna get back at it. Get back to the game, man. Y'all be easy.
All right, brother.
One.
Peace.